Yeah, keeping with the theme that you made it here today, um, can you recall one decision that had a ripple effect on the person that you are today?
Yes, and it's actually something that sometimes I also remind myself to kind of not keep myself in check, but kind of ground, or if I'm between in a situation back cornered against the wall sort
Yeah.
of thing. In life, situations happen obviously, like for everyone, and there were actually two instances where I felt like my life was really shaken up.
Yeah.
You know, these two situations really made me have a good look around myself, but more importantly, at myself, inside myself. And I realized that in both situations, these situations happened years apart. The first instance, the first thing that had happened, kind of instigated this mindset that I'm about to explain. And through the years, I kind of kept building upon it. And then the last instant that had happened kind of rebooted me, and I rebooted me to the right direction, sort of. I chose to become better, not bitter. This is something that I constantly say. They are just 3 words, but 3 very powerful words, in my opinion. Because for everything, you have choices. I fully understand that situations affect people. Societal factors, internal factors, psychological. People are complex, and our situations are complex. So of course I fully understand that it is not easy to handle certain situations which are out of your control are going to impact you and affect you. It is not possible that something that happens to you does not affect you. You might not be aware of it, but it's going to affect you. When you become aware that you are being affected or that you have been affected, it's time to take a decision of, this has affected me, to no longer let this affect control me. What am I going to do with what happened to me? Kind of taking something that others did to you, and instead of letting someone else control your being, grab what had happened to you or what is happening to you, acknowledge that this is happening to you or this had happened to you, and now decide what is going to happen next. Because it is very easy to get negative. It's in our nature to get negative. But once you become a bit aware of what's going on, it's not easier. But it's very important to be conscious, or as conscious as possible, to take the healthiest steps possible. It's not easy, and I'm not a superhuman for doing this. I mean, I've had a support system, and I also did some soul searching and everything. But it's important to really think, what direction do I want my life to go in? What type of person do I want to be? Not that we're going to set everything in a script. Life is meant to be spontaneous. But that kind of self-worth and self-realization of ultimately noticing that at the end of the day, I am my own individual, I am my own being, people and situations are going to affect me. They have, and they will continue to affect me. But if I really want to live, if I really want to enjoy life, get the most out of life, I have to do my utmost to remain resilient, positive, happy, and I decide what your action is going to result in with me. At first, when you are in such a situation, the negative impact is going to be felt first. This is like when you crash a car. First you have the crash, so you're seeing now a damaged car. And then once you notice the car crash, now you have to decide, am I either going to keep driving or try to push the car and the car remains broken? Or I call a mechanic, or the tow truck comes. So I'm not saying ignore the pain or ignore the situation or water down your feelings, far from it. But when you realize that there's been some type of shake in your world, some interruption, once you become aware, grab that awareness and decide, what do you want, like which direction do you want your life to go in? And I say this in a positive way, in a resilient way. Not out of pity or looking down at someone. And I will say it again, it's not easy. So don't feel bad that a situation really took over you and made you sad. Don't feel bad, you are human. And I actually encourage acknowledging and sitting with our emotions. But remember that you are resilient, you are worth love, you are worthy, you are capable. It's like, it's a constant balance, sort of. So,
at that time, how, well, first of all, it's not an easy hurdle to overcome, because you're, at least what I'm understanding about what you said and what you went through, is that you were a constant battle with yourself and with your own thoughts and emotions as well, because you had to develop a sort of a third person within yourself in order to keep everything in check. So that is not easy for sure. What kept you afloat?
Curiosity. There we go again, full circle.
Okay.
Because I know that there is tomorrow, and there is tomorrow, and hopefully there's going to be the day after that. So it's like, am I going to live every single day, with a negative mindset? Of course there are those negative days, but what keeps me afloat, what keeps me going, is the joy of knowing that I still have to experience my next best day of my life.
Okay, so hope.
As that,
Okay.
exactly. I still, this is not the saddest moment in my life. There's going to be an even sadder moment, and that's okay, but there's another moment to face.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel excited for life, curious about life, hopeful for life, but at the same time, we are like the captains of our own ship. So it's very important to constantly remain aware of your own actions as well. Because like others have affected you, you will affect others as well. And although perhaps you would not intend to hurt or intend to insult or intend to make someone else feel uncomfortable, without us noticing sometimes negative experiences that affected us, without us intending, my negative experience might ripple effect, and with how I speak to you, I might negatively impact you. And then we'll have the domino effect. So you're not just safeguarding yourself by being a bit more of a healthier version of you.
Yeah. It's the words that we tell ourselves. So the way we communicate with ourselves, the words we use, if we are more granular in this, the words that we use to communicate with ourselves, I mean, at some point in time, everyone self-talks, right? Either internally or out loud. So at some point in time, everyone does it. So the words that we choose play a very important role in the way that we speak to others and the way that we behave with others as well. And earlier you mentioned that you became better, not bitter,